How should we face death? Should we calmly accept it or hope for resurrection? Today we're going to look at how Stoicism and Christian faith answer this life issue. So let's begin with the big question. How do you think Stoicism and Christian faith would answer this? What is the key difference in how they approach the issue? Let me know in the comments. I'm offering a new way to understand the great teachings of the past by exploring the similarities and differences between Stoicism and Christian faith. These two influential belief systems cover vastly different ground, but they also touch on many of the same topics. By exploring them side by side, we can gain new insights into both. If you're new here, welcome. Join us as we learn what the ancients can teach us for today. The central difference between Stoicism and Christian faith is pretty straightforward. Stoicism is a human philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life through reason and virtue. Christian faith is a divine revelation that teaches us how to live a good life through God's love and grace. Now let's dive into our life issue. How should we face death? Should we calmly accept it or hope for resurrection? 1. The Stoic perspective. In his book Meditations, Marcus Aurelius writes, "When you face death, you must have no fear, since death is inevitable. And again, all is well," he says, "that ends well." In other words, Marcus Aurelius suggests that death is something we should face calmly, without fear. Why? Because it is inevitable. It's going to happen whether we like it or not, so why not accept it? He also believes that if we focus on living a virtuous life, then even our death will be virtuous. And that's because, according to the Stoics, death is just another event in life, and therefore we can control how we respond to it. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote, "One is not the same before and after death, nor can one be aware of anything after death. Therefore, neither of these is a concern for the living person." He's saying, while we are alive, we should not dwell on what happens after death. We should simply live our lives to the best of our ability right now. Epicurus too has some strong words about death. He said, "Death, which you fear so much, is nothing more to us than the irreversible past." But he goes further. He says, "Is not even the past, since it's happened, irreversible? Nothing remains that was not produced by causes, nor is anything produced that will not pass away." He's pointing out that everything in life is constantly changing and evolving. So even if we don't like our current circumstances, they won't last forever. This too shall pass. What are the strengths of this viewpoint? First, it helps us to focus on the present moment. As Epictetus said, "No one can harm you except yourself." That means that we have the power to choose how we react to things. Second, it helps us to live a virtuous life. As Marcus Aurelius said, "A new emperor must show the good character that is in him by doing good." When we focus on living a good life right now, we're more likely to make good decisions and be virtuous. And third, it helps us to be less afraid of death. As Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." If we focus on living a good life in the present moment, we're less likely to worry about what happens after death. But what are the limitations of this viewpoint? First, it may not be helpful to those who are grieving the loss of a loved one. If we tell someone who has just lost a spouse that they shouldn't be sad because death is inevitable, we may come across as insensitive. Second, it may not be helpful to those who are facing their own mortality. If we tell someone who is terminally ill that they shouldn't be afraid of death, we may come across as dismissive of their fears. Third, it doesn't offer any comfort in the face of suffering. Stoicism teaches us to accept whatever happens, but what if what happens is painful or unjust? Finally, it may not be compatible with other religious beliefs. Many religions believe that there is an afterlife, and that our actions in this life will affect what happens to us after death. Stoicism does not have any particular views on what happens after death. 2. The Christian faith perspective. Let's look at Matthew 25, verse 46. "And these will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life." Jesus talks about eternal punishment and eternal life. What does that mean for how we face death? Well, for Christians, death is not the end. It is merely the beginning of eternal life. Paul writes in 1 Corinthians, "The night is far spent, the day is at hand. So let us cast off the works of darkness, and let us be Christ men from head to foot, and give no chances for the flesh to have its fling." Here Paul is saying that we should live our lives as Christians from the time we wake up until we die. We should cast off the works of darkness, meaning sin, and put on the armor of light, meaning righteousness. And then when we die, we will go to be with the Lord. In John chapter 11, verses 25 to 26, Jesus says this, "I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, yet shall he live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die." Do you believe in this? These verses show that Jesus believes in the resurrection of the dead, and so should we. When we die, our bodies will return to dust, but our souls will live on in heaven or hell. So what are the strengths of this viewpoint? First, it offers hope for those who are grieving. When a Christian dies, they don't go to the grave, they go to be with the Lord. That means that their loved ones will see them again one day. Second, it offers hope for those who are facing their own mortality. When a Christian dies, they don't go to the grave, they go to be with the Lord. That means that their suffering is over and they are in a better place. Third, it offers comfort in the face of suffering. As Paul said, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." The Christian knows that no matter what they go through in this life, it is only temporary. One day they will be in heaven and all of their suffering will be forgotten. Fourth, it is compatible with other religious beliefs. Other religions also believe in an afterlife and that our actions in this life will affect what happens to us after death. But what are the limitations of this viewpoint? First, it may be difficult to reconcile with scientific evidence. There is no scientific evidence to support the idea that there is an afterlife. Second, it may not be appealing to those who are rational thinkers. The idea of an afterlife may seem too mystical and supernatural for some people. Third, it may not be helpful to those who are struggling with their faith. If we tell someone who is doubting their faith that they should just have more faith, we may come across as dismissive of their doubts. Fourth, it may lead to judgmentalism. If we believe that we are going to heaven and that other people are going to hell, we may be tempted to judge them. 3. Comparison and contrast. Similarities, Stoicism and Christian faith both teach us to live a virtuous life. They both teach us that we should not fear death. They both teach us to be grateful for what we have. Difference is, Stoicism is a human philosophy, while Christian faith is a divine revelation. Stoicism focuses on living a good life in this world, while Christian faith focuses on living a good life in this world and the next. Stoicism does not have any particular views on what happens after death, while Christian faith believes in an afterlife. So what should we take away from this comparison? First, we can learn from both Stoicism and Christian faith. Stoicism can teach us how to live a good life in the present moment, while Christian faith can teach us how to live a good life that takes into account what happens after death. Second, we should be respectful of those who hold different beliefs than we do. Just because we believe one thing does not mean that everyone else is wrong. We should be willing to learn from other people and to respect their beliefs even if we don't agree with them. Third, we should strive to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. Whether we follow Stoicism, Christian faith, or something else, we should always strive to be better people. So what do you think? How should we face death? Should we calmly accept it or hope for resurrection? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. It really helps us out. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.